back to First Callouts. I'm Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX, and every single Wednesday I'm right here on this channel giving you the ideas, the tools, the tips, the stuff you need to know to get yourself into that first call out. This happens every single Wednesday, and it's just one of the awesome kick-ass series shows I'm running every single week. We're on here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, bringing you great content all for free. I ask you one favor, ladies and gentlemen. You get anything out of this, subscribe first and then share the video, all right? It helps spread the word, and I guarantee you today is a great one for any of you ladies that compete, all right? We're talking about bikini competitors, figure competitors, wellness competitors. We're talking about your stage weight today, all right? So first things first, what you gotta know. There is no required stage weight for any of these classes, okay? And the problem is so many competitors, I know this because I coach literally thousands of competitors over the years, so many competitors get into their head about their weight, about like what the scale's saying, about when they step on in the morning, if it went up 3 fractions of a pound or not, you know what I mean? And if they're actually coming into a show, maybe in their peak week, at a different weight than their last show, they start to get in their head. It's very, very common for bikini competitors, wellness competitors, things like that, to get this into their mind. Well, you know what? It doesn't actually matter. That stage weight doesn't really matter. The stage weight has no value to the actual judging panel, okay? Like literally your stage weight is so irrelevant when it comes to your contest prep, your coaching, your placing, all that. It's actually insane that people put such a heavy emphasis on it. It's pretty crazy that a lot of the competitors out there get really caught up and really worried and really discouraged based on what a damn scale can do, right? So today I want to cover the stage weight. I want to talk about the stage weight and how, you know, what really matters, how you can combat some of those mental issues that you face with it, and then where you really need to focus your attention and what actually matters, okay? So the first thing you have to know, no matter what one of these divisions you're doing, okay, ladies, you're not getting weighed in for these. You're not going to go to your check-ins and get weighed in for doing bikini, for doing wellness, for doing figure, for any of that kind of stuff. You're not going to be getting weighed in, okay? So literally, right at the gate, what doesn't matter is the actual stage weight, right? Because in reality, if you had to hit a certain weight or something, like maybe some of the bodybuilders, then that's a little bit different. If you had a specific weight you had to be at, sure. But if you don't, then why are you so focused on it, right? Why are people getting so caught up in it? Why do so many competitors get really discouraged and lost based on what the scale is or is not doing? And in reality, it's because of lack of emphasis on what actually matters to the judging panel and the organization you are competing in. A lot of competitors get in their own head and think that this is actually some sort of a dieting competition instead of a bodybuilding competition. In reality, no matter which one of these divisions you're doing, you are bodybuilding. You're working on your body, you're building it, you're bringing it to stage in bikini, wellness, figure, all that. You're doing all these same things, right? And so what happens is you get out there on stage and they're looking at your physique. They're not looking at a score sheet with a weight on it, okay? You're not getting weighed in at all. And people get in their mind thinking that actually it matters more how their weight is or how, you know, conditioned, whatever, based on a number on a scale tells them they are, versus what actually is presented on stage. But in reality, that's a wrong way to think about it, because what really matters, and the only thing that's going to get you that first call out, is actually going on stage and presenting physique that fits the requirements of your division, regardless of what the scale wants to say to you. So if we know getting on stage and showing the right physique is actually what's most important, not a specific weight, then what is the hang-up? What is the concern? What's the problem? What goes through a competitor's mind, okay? I know a lot of you watching this right now are competitors, 100%, probably most of you. And so you could be doing your first show, you could be doing your 25th show, you could have never competed and be thinking about it. And I'll tell you exactly what goes through the mind of pretty much all competitors in these categories. Basically, what happens is, if you competed, right, and let's say you're going into another show right now, you're not at the same weight that you were, okay? You're not at the weight that you were the last show. It's a cause for panic mentally. It's a cause for you to be like, oh no, well, last show I was leaner, last show I was better, last show I was 113, today I'm 116, so I'm not going to do good at my competition. This is the kind of stuff that bikini competitors do, wellness competitors. I know this, I've coached a lot of them, okay? And so what happens is, basically that's just a flawed way of thinking. There's really no better way to put it. It's a flawed way of thinking. Because if you actually weighed the same at every single show you did, that would mean you actually didn't ever get any better. You never made any real improvements, right? You never actually went and took your improvement season, not an off season, I don't believe in that, improvement season, and didn't come back better. Because if you do come back better, your stage weight will be different. Okay? It's either going to be different on a lower side or higher side. Shouldn't be the same. Okay? Shouldn't really be the same because that would mean you didn't make any improvements. Because check this out. Competitors out there that are already competing, you're trying to do more shows. If you add muscle, guess what happens? You're going to add weight to your body. So if you go to a show and the judges say, hey, yeah, you did great, your posing was good, all this was good, you need to build more upper body, you might need to add some more glutes and legs. All right, cool. Feedback's great. You know the feedback, you can take it to work, put it in your improvement season, come back, place better. But if you are going to add muscle to your frame, if they say build more muscle, hey, add some more shoulders, glutes, or do all that, and you come back at the same weight, it's likely you didn't do that. It's likely you didn't actually build any muscle, because if you built muscle, you're probably coming in at a higher stage weight, right? Speculating your conditioning was on point and everything. Obviously, all this is custom, right? You got to have a custom prep. I'm giving you generic ideas. But the point is, if you came back to a stage and you were at the same weight, you probably didn't build any muscle, okay? Or you'd be too lean. You'd probably come in too lean. Maybe you built muscle, but you got too lean. Either way, being at the same weight likely means you didn't improve that much or at all. So that's an issue right at the gate, right? Because if you have to add muscle to your frame, ladies, then what's going to happen is that scale is going to climb up with you. If you actually build any muscle, it's going to weigh on your body. Go figure, okay? All weight is relevant to muscle and body fat, but scales don't dictate which is which, and even if they have the little fucking fake body fat scanners on them, it's not accurate. So, the point is, if you're going to add any muscle, if you're going to actually improve your physique, you're going to go up in weight. That's going to happen. That will happen. That has to happen. Now, let's say your feedback was actually, hey, you know what? Your muscle's good. Everything looked great. Posing was good. You're not conditioned enough. You're a little too soft. You need to come in a little bit more conditioned. That's conditioning is code from the judges, by the way, for body fat. You need less body fat, basically. They want to see you leaner. Okay, great. So let's say you go into a prep and you did your improvement season, you did all that. Now you're coming back to stage, you hit the same stage weight. Well, right at the gate, if you hit the same stage weight, it is like, once again, likely you didn't actually make the improvements the judge want to see. Because if you had the good muscle base already, you shouldn't be adding any more. You're already in a good spot. They said you were good. If they want you better conditioning, now your stage weight should probably actually be lower, right? So maybe you came in at 120, now you got to come in at 115. But the point is, guess what? None of these numbers actually matter, right? Like, this is what I'm saying. Competitors are always focusing on this so much. Like, they want to hit the same stage weight. They want to worry about this and that. But the numbers don't actually matter. The stage weight, in reality, has no value to your actual physique. No value to you weighing in. No value to any of this. The stage weight has no value because nobody's checking it, all right? Coaches, I know, I'm a coach, I do check-ins, I know what my competitors weigh, and I know coaching, having coached literally hundreds and thousands of top-placing competitors over the years, I know for sure that people could be the same height, they could be, you know, training for the same division, even the same show, and weigh totally different weights, and still plays very, very well. Still win their class, still do this and that. You know, a bunch of people could base a weight on something. A lot of coaches do that. It's a bad way to think. Competitors do that. But in reality, if you don't have the right composition, right? If we don't have the right muscle and the right body fat and all that, then it doesn't matter what the weight is, in other words, right? Like, let's say that somebody didn't have enough muscle, but they dieted down enough to a predicted stage weight or something like that. Well, if they don't have enough muscle, it doesn't count for anything. They could be spot on their stage weight and it won't result in a good placing. Because in reality, it's not something that's factored into the judging. What the judges are looking for in these divisions, wellness, bikini, figure, is all the same kind of stuff for the most part, right? Every division's looking at these couple things. They want to see muscular development that fits the criteria of whatever division it is, okay? That's different for all those, obviously, right? With, bikini, we're looking at more of an hourglass shape. With figure, more of the tapered, more muscled look. And with wellness, we're looking at a bikini up top with a heavy emphasis on the lower body development. But basically, they want to see you fit the muscular development for your division. And then they want to see, guess what? Conditioning. They want to see your conditioning be in the right spot for your division. For bikini, a little bit softer. It's not super hard. They don't want to see cuts. They don't want to see striations. Wellness, about the same as bikini. Figure, more muscular. They want to see some cuts. They want to see some striations. They want to see more definition, right? So you got to fit the categories. You got to fit the divisions and what they're looking for, what the organization wants to see, what the NPC wants to see, what the IFBB wants to see. And then if you're doing that, you're set. Guess what they don't care about? That damn stage weight. And I keep hammering this over your head because this is like the number one thing I've talked about to people I've coached over the years, probably thousands of different times. Sometimes the same people many times. Like, hey, here's what the stage weight is. It doesn't fucking matter. It's not a real thing. It's not a real metric. There is no stage weight. You can't actually get on stage at any specific weight and expect a specific placing if you didn't get the damn physique right first. You gotta have the right muscle base, right conditioning. Stage weights don't really matter, okay? And if you talk to any of your famous pros, if you talk to any of the big coaches, you talk to anybody that's coached a lot of people for a long period of time with good success, they'll tell you this exact same thing. They'll be like, no, there isn't a stage weight. No, I never competed at the same stage weights. I didn't, it wasn't a thing. And eventually you start to understand that, the scale is just a mental thing that comes up in your mind. And so what actually matters is not so much what the scale says, but more so what you actually look like on stage to the judging panel when you present on competition day. Where does this mental side come into place then, right? Because this is something that comes up. You can watch this video as far as you have, and I guarantee if you compete your first show, your 10th show, your 25th show, this is still something that will run through your mind. So where does this come from, right? What is the idea behind this, the kind of the mentality side behind worrying about what a scale says? Well, I'll tell you straight up that a lot of society for a very long time, fitness culture, has been heavily focused on what a scale says, right? For a long time, it's all been about that, right? We think about big TV shows like Biggest Loser, where they weigh in and all these different things. And, old school bodybuilding was all about weights and things like that. But it's different because it's bodybuilders, not bikini competitors and stuff like that. And, with this, the fitness culture has been heavily revolved around a weight. When you go to the doctor's office, they'll weigh you in and tell you if you're in the right range or not based on some arbitrary damn calculations. At the end of the day, none of this matters. At the end of the day, your weight is not the factor. If you're a competitor and you're trying to compete, and you want to do your best, you want to get yourself into that first call out, it's never about the weight. It's actually about getting the right aesthetic, getting the right muscular development, the right conditioning, and the right posing, presentation, all that to place at your top. If you want help with this and you don't know how to do this, go to TeamFFLEX.com right now. Me or one of my kick-ass coaches, if you subscribe to our mailing list, we'll get you set up and show you how to train for whatever division you're trying to compete in. It's free. If you don't do this and you're serious about competing, you're crazy because it's world-class coaching and it's a free trial, all right? But basically, the point is you got to understand this. There's no stage weight. I have coached thousands of top-placing competitors and pros and all around the world, and I've noticed that nobody is the same. I've never been able to be like, oh, well, this girl's 5'7", so if I get her at the same weight that last girl won her show at 5'7", that will be good. It doesn't work that way. Every physique is different. The way everybody carries muscle is different. The way everybody looks when they're leaned out is different. All of this is different. Everything needs to be custom, right? You can't go and pick some arbitrary number and say, this is where I want to be, that's where I have to be. And also don't get wrapped up, competitors, in the thoughts of that you should be at the same that you were. Maybe you won your show once and now you're worried because you're up some weight for your next comp, but in reality, that just means you got better. That just means you improved. That just means you might be climbing that damn ladder. You know, at the end of the day, if you weigh in and you weigh in and you weigh in and you weigh in, all it's going to do is weigh in on your fucking mind. It's going to make your mentality go to shit for your prep. It's going to keep you unfocused on what actually matters, which is bringing your best to the stage, being confident, bringing the right muscularity, the right conditioning, and the right presentation, and feeling good about the stage physique you brought to the stage. If you can do this, if you can get over the scale, if you can quit worrying about damn body fat percentages that are on a stupid machine and shit like that, and start actually paying attention to the requirements of the division and understanding what they want and bringing that'll change the game for you. That's how people turn into pros, right? That's how people go further and further into the pro leagues. That's how the amateurs, the people that never did a show, come in and win. They're not focused on the little shit. They're focused on the bigger picture, okay? And again, you know, it is important to have a coach, somebody that knows the criteria, because maybe you don't. Maybe you don't know what actually they want. Maybe you get in your own head. A lot of competitors tend to actually get in their own heads about what they think the judges want to see, and in reality, it's what they think that the judges want to see, but not actually what the organization and the judges do want to see. Coaches are very good to have in your back pocket for this kind of stuff because they do know the criteria and they can look at your physique in a subjective way just like the judges can, in a way where you're not in your own head thinking you're not big enough, you're not lean enough, you're not in the right spot, this guy, this girl, they all look different on Instagram, you're worried about how you look. Well, a coach can sit back and say, you know what, here's what we need to see, here's what we need to do, here's how you do it, program it, this is what I do, this is what my team of coaches do, this is what we do for everyone we work with. We're taking everybody in on an individual level, we're customizing every program, we're dialing it up the way they need to, and we're bringing them into shows, and that is just exactly fucking why they get that first call out, fam. And that's what happens. That's what will happen when you do things custom, when you do things the right way, when you got a coach that can help guide you and get you on path, you can do whatever you want. But at the end of the day, I've never once ever once told a competitor, okay, we need to lose 5 pounds and we're going to come back better. I've never even once, as a coach, gotten feedback from judges, which is something that I do often. Every single show, actually, I'll ask, the judges what the feedback from my competitors is, regardless if they won or not. And I've never heard once from judges, hey, yeah, take 5 pounds off her. She needs to add about 10 pounds of muscle. That doesn't come up because the stage weight don't matter. The stage weight doesn't matter. The physique is what matters, fitting the criteria of the division. If you got the weights of all your top favorite pros, I guarantee you'd be blown away to see what they are. You'd be blown away to know, like, whoa, every single person has a different weight, but they all look, very similar on stage, yet they're all different. And, if you could go further, you could ask them their history. You could be like, hey, how did you figure out your weights for every show? They would tell you they didn't. They didn't do that because that's not what you should do, and that's not what good coaches do. The approach that you need to take is the one that's going to get you into the first call out, and that's going for what the division needs, what they want to see, and fitting that criteria. Remember, it's muscle, it's conditioning, it's presentation. Get it right, get it out there, and you're going to get that first call out. This is what you need to be concerned with, not the other side of it, not the damn metrics, not the fucking weights. It's not what matters. It's not. I'll tell you straight up. 1,000,000 times now, I've coached, not 1,000,000, but thousands of times now, I've coached all these competitors, these bikini competitors, wellness now, and figure before, still doing figure, all that. The point is, I've coached so many people, and a lot of people get hung up on the weights, and I tell them it doesn't matter, and sometimes they don't listen, but most of the time that they do, they are able to focus on their prep better, and they're going to place better, and they're going to do better. Just for the fact that they could focus mentally better on doing what they had to do, which is the nutrition and the lifting, and creating that, following the program, in other words, to get them where they want to be. Go figure that actually works if you can do it without distracting yourself. And oftentimes, I'll tell you straight up, when competitors do their best, when they win, and then 2 days before the show, they were complaining to me that their stage weight was wrong, they weren't at the right weight, they were last time, and then they come fucking win their show, they're just blown away. But I'll tell you what, it happens all the time. It is what happens. It's a mental block for a lot of people. It's probably one for you. If it hasn't been, it might become one. And if it has been, it doesn't have to stay one. You have to understand at the end of the day, the scale is just some stupid ass metric. It's just another thing to step on. It doesn't doesn't really actually hold any value for you and your prep and making sure you're getting there. I've actually coached competitors all the way to a first place win, having never weighed them in at all, literally just going off of how their physique looks and how, you know, their shape is, and making sure that they're going to fit that criteria. When they stand on stage, the judges are going to see what they want to see, and that's going to bring home that win. That's going to definitely land you in that first call out. This is Ryan Milton from TeamFFLEX. We are done with first call outs for this Wednesday, but I'll be back next Wednesday. Check out the other series shows. Please subscribe and please share it. If there's any video to share as a competitor, it's this one, because all of your competitors, all your comrades, your friends, your buddies, everybody gets in their damn head about this damn stage weight. So please share it. Check out TeamFFLEX.com if you need help with your coaching. You want a free trial to the world-class coaching that we offer. We'll get you set up. Go there, subscribe to the mailing list, punch in your stuff. You're going to be instantly invited to our awesome kick-ass mobile coaching app, where me or one of my kick-ass coaches are going to take you on, and we're going to show you how to train for whatever you're trying to do free for 7 days. It's free. If you're serious about getting results and you don't take an opportunity to get world-class coaching for free, you're absolutely nuts. So please do it. Please share it. Please subscribe it. Thank you for watching. I'll be back next Wednesday, actually tomorrow, for Fitness Fire. Coach Ryan is out.